I'm sorry, Sai. I should have gone instead of you. Eli could have watched Girl.
I feel fine, so don't worry about it, I guess.
You can use Vox to heal?
Vox, yeah, but it has to be poetry, unfortunately.
So, you're the librarian, huh? You don't seem like the librarian type.
Librarian, ex-soldier, faith healer, tree hugger, demolitions expert. At your service, Sai. And fucking apologetic.
I thought the weave was all about peaceful resistance. What's with the shotgun?
I got the same philosophy about guns as I do about words. If you can use them to fight fascists, you use them.
We can all get to know each other later. Justice is only a half hour out, and we need to clear this place before they arrive.
I'm aware. There's been activity all across the map today. Lots of libraries sending out distress signals or going dark. I hope you folks got room for one more, because I can't stay here, and I got nowhere to go.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Stop fussing, I'm fucking fine. All healed up. No holes, no scars, and we've got a library to clean up. So let's go.
We can't trust any of the libraries now. I sent a message back to La Torre, but I doubt they'll respond.
Good luck getting any answer from anyone. Libraries all over been going dark. Something is definitely going on.
We'll need to change our route.
Time to skedaddle, folks. Won't be long before the Bluecoats show. Theo, you can carry the acoustic coupler. Sai, grab the storage unit on top of the console. If you don't mind. I liked it here. It's a real shame to lose it. Oh, fuck. Mr. Planty. Pax, your hands are empty. Can you do me a favor? My philodendron. I'm not leaving them behind.
Philo what?
Philodendron. My lucky plant.
So, I don't think we have time to pick up a plant.
He's in the bathroom, the one with the name tag. This is important to me. It'll only take a minute.
Sure, I'll get your philo plant with the name tag, Mr. Planty.
Are you sure?
It's the least we can do. Go ahead. I'll be right behind you.
Come on.
Are you the one?
Keep the road clear. We don't want to block traffic. And send some guys around back, see if there's another exit.
Sir, are you sure about this? It doesn't look very promising.
It does not. This might have been a false lead.
She must be a guest.
Ma'am, do you have a moment?
Are you staying at this motel, ma'am?
Don't I know you? I believe we met earlier, at the station. You left your toy behind.
Wow. I owe you one. I guess it's lucky you went in there after me.
You were riding with some folks on a bus, an old American Motors Company model. Those are rare, hard to miss. But I don't see it here.
What's your name, ma'am?
It's Rosa.
Rosa. Pretty name.
You here alone? Where are your friends? Colleagues?
They're out for dinner.
Without you. Not hungry?
So what brings you to Boulder?
And why are you carrying a plant?
Just doing some gardening.
That's a strange thing to be doing if you're stopping at a motel for the night, right?
We're investigating this motel for illegal activity. I'm sorry, but we'll need you to stay here while we take a look. Kim, on me.
What the hell was that, Soul? I could have been killed. And all for a plant?
Relax, Buttercup. I waited till you were out of there, and it helped you escape the pigs. I booby-trapped the place when I took over. I told you I'm ex-army and a demolition expert. Oh, it was all for nothing, though. This ain't Mr. Planty.
Seriously? That's what you're worried about now?
Mr. Planty was my emotional support plant. Maybe that's...
No. Our new friend sounds upset.
What,
It's just a plant, mate. Not a person.
Yeah, but it's Mr. Planty.
We'll get you a new plant. Okay?
Okay.
At least we all made it out. Right now, we have bigger things to discuss. So, you said libraries were going dark. First La Torre, now Boulder.
Yeah, Salem and Rapid City, too. You can't trust anything west of Chicago. And they could be next.
Rapid City's our next stop. Any way we can tap into the Weave to get more information? Or talk to Nova Scotia?
Not a chance, champ. The only way to contact the Weave in this region just went up in flames.
So we'll have to get to Chicago and speak with our contact there. All right. We'll make camp, regroup, figure out what to do from there.
So, emotional support plan?
That's right. What about it?
Nothing. I wouldn't mind one of those.
So, how does it work, Sol? You just recite poetry and it heals people?
Exactly that. It helps the body heal itself. Lacerations, stab wounds, bullet holes, even internal bleeding, sometimes. Doesn't work on cancer or dead people, but gunshot wounds are my specialty, thanks to a stint in the Second Civil War.
I'm not sure this is an appropriate discussion in front of the child.
Have we settled on calling her the child now?
Thought it was girl.
Girl works. Simple, easy to remember, albeit a little presumptive.
Because we don't know if she's...
A she.
On that subject, I've been thinking. I asked you to call me Viola, but there's something about that name that doesn't quite sit right. I think it's too conventional. It just conforms to what Justice wanted me to be. Like I'm role-playing a character they created. Therefore, I'm going back to CT. For now. After all, that name was given to me by the children I cared for, including Eli. The name has emotional significance.
I'm touched, CT.
Doesn't CT leave you with the same problem? An abbreviation of what Justice named you.
You have a point. All names come from somewhere. But at least this one reminds me of those I care about more than those I resent. But this must all be terribly boring for Girl here. We ought to get ready for bed.
Aw, man, I tell her the best bedtime stories. No? Wanna join? Since she's so taken with you. No. You okay?
Sorry, I'm just thinking. You go ahead without me.
Oh, my shoulder's pretty fucked after trying to...
My two favorite people hanging out. Are you proposing Theo become your next muse, Sai?
What? No, I don't need a muse. I'm my own muse, okay? I just need inspiration, okay? Not a fucking muse. Like any idea for a drawing, like a person or a portrait. You know, I like to draw people.
You're good at it.
Oh, thank you, Theo. Come on, Pax, give me something. Muse me up, bitch.
Maybe you could draw a girl. She'd love that.
You know what? That's an awesome idea, Theo. I can't talk to kids. but I can draw them.
What do we do with the kid? We can't just keep her.
Well, your plan to leave her at the library went up in smoke. Literally.
I'm not sure leaving her with Soul would have been the best alternative.
What's there to discuss? We bring her with.
It's kidnapping, Pax. The literal definition of the word. But, yeah. Dropping her off somewhere without a guarantee she'll be cared for would be worse. We can take care of her together, even if it's temporary.
So, like I was saying... Oh, my shoulders.
Here, in case you feel like whipping out the needles sometime soon.
Good timing. I was running low on red.
If the infant is sticking around, you could knit her something, like a tassel.
A tassel?
What? I blanked. Okay, whatever. Shouldn't you be thanking Pax?
Of course. Thank you, Pax.
Oh, what was I saying? Oh, my shoulder is pretty fucked after trying to bust through that steel door earlier.
Listen, kid, don't get me...
What are you guys talking about?
The Resistance. I'm not sure we'll ever see eye to eye on methods, but Saul's right. We have a duty to fight justice and not run and hide.
I was just saying to your sister, to win this fight, we need to use words, language, information, this and otherwise. That's why I joined the Weave. When I could no longer hold a gun or throw a grenade, this was how I could still play a part. And honestly, it's the winning strategy. To fight justice, we need to turn their weapons against them.
Yeah, how do we do that?
That's what we're trying to figure out. And maybe we won't get there, especially with justice picking apart the Weave. But God help us, we won't stop until we succeed. Or die trying.
You're probably right. Fighting them on the battlefield is a zero-sum game. But if we can weaponize words the same way they've done, we might stand a chance.
That's what the Weave is all about. And that's what Nova Scotia's trying to do. Understanding the power of language and weaponizing that. That's the key, kid. That's it. So, hey, what's up with that kid, girl? Theo said you found her today?
We did. Well, I guess you could say maybe she found us.
What the fuck is that all about? Who is she? Doesn't she have parents?
She's like us. A Nomo. I'm guessing that's why Justice was so keen to get their hands on her.
How can that be? Kid's barely old enough to walk.
She's like 10.
It's a long story, but we've learned that Justice has been running experiments to create a Nomos.
What, like a fucking army of deviants?
Pretty much, yeah. Eli's one of them, actually.
God damn, the shit I'm learning today. Makes me happy I met you guys. Kids shouldn't have to go through shit like that. They need to be protected.
Do you have kids?
A daughter. And an ex-wife. Haven't seen either in... forever. I made my choice when I enlisted. And again when I became a librarian. I don't regret it. Does that make me a monster? I couldn't take care of them and commit to the cause at the same time. As long as I was with my family, every choice I made would be for them, right? And not for the greater good. Fuck it doesn't matter now. You're better off without me.
You know, when I was a kid, I was a lot like you.
Except I always had to tell Eli to be quiet. He would never stop talking. Unless...
I guess you must really miss your friend, Eli.
More than ever. Seeing you and Ziggy together reminded me of when we first met. And now there's Girl. We're on this huge adventure to a place where we can start over and maybe help do some good. It feels like she deserves a chance to be there too. I believe we'll find her, and that she'll come with us to Nova Scotia.
I admire your faith, Eli. And I believe that wherever your friend is now, she's thinking of you too.
I hope so. I hope she hasn't forgotten me.
Let me start over. Unless you are reading. Then you disappear into your books.
Gnome? Are you okay?
Fine. I'm fine. Just fine.
Gnome!
Can they hear me? It doesn't work if they can't hear me.
Their eyes are open. Go ahead.
I had no time to hate, because the grave would hinder me, and life was not so ample I could finish enmity. Nor had I time to love, but since some industry must be, the little toil of love, I thought, was large enough for me.
Jesus. Did I pass out?
It looks like a concussion to me, chap. Headaches? Nausea?
Yeah, but it hasn't been that bad.
Why didn't you say something?
I didn't want to make a fuss. It's fine.
Are you okay?
I passed out, Theo. Clearly not okay, but thanks for your concern.
We care. We all care. A lot.
I know. This is getting awkward. Go away.
Love you too, Gnome.
Group hug?
Relishing the fresh Colorado air?
Just trying to look moody and debonair. It's all about the aesthetic.
You had me scared there for a minute.
Who knew massive head trauma could lead to concussions? Your love and concern warms my heart, babe. But look at me now. Good as new. I hope I didn't spook the crew. They've had enough trauma for a lifetime. Talking of trauma, the kid's holding up well, all things considered. Attacked by justice, kidnapped by strangers.
I'm glad she's around. Gives the crew something to care for.
You talk about her like she's a pet. I don't understand how she took to me so quickly. I'm terrible with kids. I have thought about it, though. Kids. Having them. Someday.
I'm the same.
Yeah, well, I guess some people aren't quite cut out for it. But you... I thought you might... Oh, never mind.
Anyway.
So this is what you guys do every night. Sit around a campfire and...
Yes,
Yep.
every time.
They always ask.
Did I miss something? What's the joke?
I don't think there's a joke. It's just a question every new member of the crew asks on the night of their first campfire. It's sort of a...
Rite of passage.
Annoying fucking habit.
Gee, fine. Forget I asked. Hey, so does this mean I'm part of the crew now?
You and girl. Of course, right?
Sure.
Well, you'll need an official title. So, CT's our driver and cook. Theo's the boss. Sai's the battering ram. I'm the sister, I guess. Eli's the heart, and Gnome's... I'm sorry, Gnome, but what do you do?
Provide cutting commentary to the events of the day, lurk moodily in the periphery, elegantly smoke cigarettes, and I'm the ex, I guess. Wait, why are we framing Pax as the protagonist here?
She did bring us all together.
Fine, Pax is our protagonist, and Girl's the kid. She's got that roll down pat. So what are you, Saul? What do you bring to your new position as crew member?
Well, shit, if you put it like that, I guess I'm the fucking healer. But I can also drive, cook, be sarcastic, build explosive booby traps. I'll earn my keep somehow. Don't you guys worry about that.
Hey, do we know if girl has any allergies or dietary restrictions?
Our food is generally inoffensive and contains few common allergens.
And if things go tits up, I think I can fix anaphylaxis with some choice verses from Sylvia Plath. Ezra Pound, if it's serious.
Does anyone know any bedtime stories? I only know Ride of Folktales, and those are probably a little bloody for a preteen.
I have an extensive library of classic children's stories.
Just stay away from Shakespeare, okay? Unless you want her to pass out from boredom.
Isn't that sort of the point?
Fair enough. Shakespeare it is.
Sol's right about the libraries. We need to change our route. Worst case scenario, all the libraries have been raided, and we're on our own.
You mean a detour? Sorry.
There are really only 3 options, and one of them... Let's just take a look at the map. We were supposed to go straight north on 85, stopping in Rapid City, and then east on I-90 through Minnesota to Chicago. But with no way to connect with Nadia, we can't risk it. And even if the Rapid City library is still standing, we'd be cutting it close. We lost a lot of time today. We could still go through the Dakotas, circumventing Rapid City, passing Minneapolis before Chicago, but the Dakotas are dangerous. Even if Eli gets us past the Riders, there are other clans in the territories and they'd be curious about a bus. And the other option is to go south into New Mexico and from there through Oklahoma and St. Louis before Chicago, but that's a long detour. It means crossing 2 borders, and we would definitely not make it to Chicago in time. We'd have to communicate with Nova Scotia, and I don't know how to do that now. What do you think, Pax? Any thoughts?
So, how about...
The Great Plains Exclusion Zone. It's... talk about unpredictable and dangerous. Also, the Ashes is permanently closed for civilian traffic. Only trucks and justice vehicles are allowed on I-70 with multiple armed checkpoints.
Didn't Sol say something about a road further north running parallel with I-70? One without checkpoints and... Lebanon.
Route 36 runs straight through, Lebanon, Kansas. The midway point between West and East, back when there were 50 states. I don't think that town exists anymore. It's all just, dust. Pax?
Sorry, Theo. I got caught up in... What do you know about the Ashes?
Same as you, probably. The Great Plains Exclusion Zone. Just a dust bowl now. The Dust Bowl. Constant storms, terrible visibility. Supposedly the site of Black Ops experiments, at least, according to the conspiracy theorists. The interstate's monitored by Justice, and the other highways haven't been maintained since everyone left in the 1990s. It's uninhabitable.
Are the Ashes completely off limits?
Nothing. No one does. It's a black hole. Ever since the Great Drought of the 90s, people migrated in the hundreds of thousands, west, east, away from the sandstorms. The land became arid. Temperatures rose, the scorching hot winds ravaged what was left. It's a dead zone. Uninhabited, uninhabitable, lifeless, lethal. It is the most direct route, but that's pretty much the only reason I'd even consider it. It would get us to Chicago with time to spare. If we made it through. And I wouldn't count on that.
It would get us to Chicago faster than any other route, right?
I mean, theoretically, it's basically a straight line to Chicago. But even if Route 36 is still there, like Sol claims, we don't know if there are roadblocks, checkpoints, missing bridges. We'd bet everything on a wish and a prayer. Is that something you want to do, especially with a kid on board?
That's our route.
Were you not listening?
What other option do we have, Theo? We're behind schedule. The other routes are not viable, and the zone's uninhabited. We pass through undetected.
You seriously want to do this, Pax?
Dead serious.
Okay. Then we need to move tonight. It'll take close to 12 hours to drive through, and we can't do it in the dark. We need to pass the edge of the zone by sunrise to maximize the daylight. I'll tell the others.